Ceasing to do. How do you cease to do?
Well, I tend to talk a lot about ceasing to do because it is helpful to minimize our volitional action. Basically, this me that is constantly trying to do just reinforces the feeling of a me trying to do something and get somewhere. And this ceasing to do can actually start in very, very simplistic ways. I mean, we do so much more than is even necessary. I mean, if you just check your own posture, for example, I mean, if you're sitting or standing perfectly upright, it requires very little muscle to stay upright. But if you're leaning, we have to do a lot to fight gravity, or we'll collapse. And so, in the basic, idea of ceasing to do, you're trying to minimize what it would take to stay up. And so you're perfectly in alignment with posture-wise for gravity to keep you up without falling over. It also would mean, in a way, as some Zen people will talk about, doing one thing at a time. Like if you're sitting, you're just sitting. You're not doing anything else. Likewise, if you're mowing the lawn, just mow the lawn. No more, no less. You don't need to be thinking about what you need to do afterwards. You don't need to think about what had transpired earlier, drudging up the past. You don't need to daydream. You can just turn it into almost like a walking meditation, where you're just walking and you happen to be pushing this mower along. Likewise with Tai Chi, dance movements, whatever you're doing, just do that and be 100% devoted to the feeling, experiencing of just that, and not doing anything else, not referring to past, future, daydreaming, not doing extra things. Because I mean, if you're doing a specific dance movement or Tai Chi movement, for example, you don't need to add an extra twirl in there when it's not supposed to be in there. And so no extraneous movements, no extraneous thinking, just ceasing everything but that motion in that time and place in the here and now.
Oh, very, very interesting. We'll have some fun with that. So thanks a lot. I'm going to cheat and throw one more question at you. Sure. So you've been gracious enough to agree to meet with us and so we can ask you some questions.
Yep.
And like, how do you come up with a question? I mean, does it matter what we ask, or?
I would say it's best not to ask about hypotheticals. You want to try to make any question asked relevant to yourself, not other people. Because if you ask a question, well, how could you go with this philosophy and everybody else's whatever? It doesn't apply. We're talking about you. That's basically the root of a Q&A session, or a satsang, as I sometimes give them, is the question should pertain to you. It should be relevant to you, not hypothetical or about other people or about the world. Could be about how you interact with the world, but not about the world minus you. So try to make the questions relevant to yourself. But if you may have a question just simply arise. I mean, you'll just go, well, based on what I experienced about ceasing to do, or what my understanding of non-duality is, or being present, a question may arise just to how, you may be finding there's an obstacle or a pitfall, or you don't quite understand how to do something, put it in practice, or understand something. The question arises. And those are usually the most valuable questions, is the ones that help you along.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We look forward to meeting with you, all of us, in person.